All I knew was that this town was going down and no one was showing up. And so we, as Koreans, figured that out really quickly. There's a point where you and I look at each other and say,
they're not coming.
they're not coming, Tony. You know, like
the choppers will not be here anytime soon.
So that's when all the stuff started to go down.
Roy Choi is a second-generation Korean American. He lives in Los Angeles. He's the owner, operator of 4 groundbreaking and much-loved food trucks. Among the first to harness the strange and terrible powers of social media to alert customers to where to find delicious food.
This was the command post. From here, you know, you could look and you could see if fires were going on.
When the Los Angeles riots happened in 1992, Roy was 22 years old, and this plaza's rooftop played a central role for Koreans defending their town. But let's back up a bit. After the Immigration Act of 1965, thousands of Koreans began arriving in LA. The first to arrive were mostly middle-class, college-educated, hoping to make a lateral move into American society. But unless you had a medical or engineering degree, that turned out to be tough. They found work as merchants, store owners, opened liquor stores, groceries, massage studios, dry cleaners. They did that in an area that was, as it's called, underserved, where major chains feared to tread, where others preferred to abandon, Koreans moved in. So 1992. 4 LA police officers are on trial for what sure as hell looked to me like a wildly excessive and prolonged beating of an unarmed Rodney King. In April of that year, they were acquitted. For me, it was a holy shit, I never saw that coming moment. For African Americans, it was a somewhat ruder surprise. To say people were angry would be an understatement.
They don't represent the people no more.
South Central's that way. So you could almost feel it like a tidal wave coming.
The LAPD were completely unprepared for what happened next.
Everything you see right here, all this was being looted. Chairs and rocks and everything being thrown through walls. If you go straight down Western on Venice, the whole plaza burned on fire. We're calling 911, and there was no response.
Did the cops come at all?
I was here all 3 days. I didn't see any cops.
Well, where did they set up their front line?
Rodeo Drive.
Where did the forces of law and order set up their perimeter? Not here. Koreatown was left to its own devices. The official borders are 3rd Street on the north end, Olympic Boulevard to the south, Vermont Avenue on the east, and Western Avenue to the west. That's 3 square miles left pretty much to burn or fend for itself. This rooftop quickly became the command post for rapidly improvised Korean defense forces. They armed themselves, set up crude but effective command and control, communication, and patrols. It is and always has been a fiercely, fiercely proud country, and its people yearn to see international coverage of something other than cocaine and violence. But that isn't a legacy that's easy to ignore. Its decades of civil unrest have left vast swaths of Colombia relatively unknown, even to its own citizens. To reach a place previously considered a no-go area, I'll fly out of an airport in Villavicencio, 45 miles southeast of the capital city of Bogota. On first inspection, this is an airplane boneyard, where unwanted props from Romancing the Stone corrode artfully. But in reality, this sleepy hangar is an important gateway to the more impenetrable parts of the country. The remote settlements in the Amazon basin are cut off from the country with neither rail nor roads connecting them. There are only 2 ways in, either boat for several days downriver or aboard a jungle bus, which is what locals call the World War II era DC-3. I've flown worse. I've been brought here by Pablo Mora, a teacher at Medellin University and a particular enthusiast for this classic of Golden Age aviation. You've taken this flight before?
Yes. Every time I have a chance, I come here and fly one. It's a romantic thing.
He sees the work that these hulking great airships and their pilots do as daredevil humanitarian missions for the more remote Colombians. They have an in-flight movie.
No, no, no. Nor first class either.
What?
No, no.
The planes travel with their own mechanic to cobble together anything that might go wrong, and stuff can go wrong. The risk is that we'll be able to land but not take off again. So this guy is our return ticket out of the jungle. Struggle with the FARC, a Marxist guerrilla force financed by drug trafficking, kidnapping, and covert assistance from Venezuela. 50 years of very dirty war. The stakes not about drugs per se, but about the ability of ordinary Colombians to live without fear. We land in the jungle outpost of Miraflores in the southern province of Guaviare in the Amazonian Forest Reserve. The heavy presence of army and special police is a result of its strategic location and recent history as a one-time center of coca production. Farmers here would grow the stuff and make leaves into paste. Traffickers would come and buy it. The FARC had this area under its sphere of influence for years. 9 years ago, the government moved to expel the FARC, the traffickers, and any paramilitaries, with apparently much success. Overnight, however, its population shrank by 85%, and what remains struggles to survive. So the people here, you're telling me either were born here, or?
Most of the people came from elsewhere. At the beginning, in the 1950s and 60s, they were escaping from the violence, from the political violence between the two parties in Colombia.
So if you were having problems in the city or in wherever you were from, you came out here?
Yeah.
So what did you do for a living out here?
Cattle and doing some agriculture. And after that, the drug trade began and everything with the coca plantations. And
this climate's good for it?
Yeah, it's very good. And since 1999, there was no police or army force here, so it was just occupied by the FARC. And then by the paramilitaries who tried to...
Yeah.
So that's when the real violence began.
So really, the problems in this country pre-existed the drug trade.
What we say here is that the drug trade just made everything work. There's no judge here, there's few institutions here.
Right.
Basically, you know that the state is here just because the army is here. So I think here we're gonna make the major.
Oh, yeah. Santiago de Cali, or just Cali as everybody calls it in these parts, is a city in the southwest of Colombia known for its proximity to the Pacific coast and its semi-tropical temperatures. But I'm not really here for the climate. I'm here for tejo. It involves alcohol and explosives. Colombian Mario Galeno, expat Will Holland, and their bandmates are to be my guides to this ancient and traditional Colombian sport.
Thanks, man.
How do you play this game? I guess that's how it's done. What do you call this object?
El tejo.
El tejo.
Tejo.
Hence the name of this.
Exactly, tejo.
I should be good at this. I've been throwing pots into the dish sink from across the room for years.
You win more points if you get it in the middle without hitting them.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
But that doesn't sound like any fun. Shots on motorcycles. It's wild. And almost giddily happy. Man. Young men in the camouflage pants of the militias, most of whom were civilians until last year, do their best to sporadically keep order or just join in the fun. Every kid above the age of 5 seems to have been issued a lighter and a fistful of fireworks. Ambulances idle on the margins of the square to treat fireworks-related injuries, of which there will be many.
No, no, no.
That was good. This is Tripoli, after 42 years of nightmare. How to build a whole society overnight and make it work in one of the most contentious and difficult areas of the world is what people are trying to figure out.
Good. Good food.
Outside Tripoli's center, there's this. One-time axis of all power and untold evil. A huge complex of sinister offices, barracks, residences, on top of a rabbit warren of secret tunnels and underground facilities. The Bab al-Azizia, Gaddafi's enormous compound. Most everything belonging to or associated with Gaddafi was destroyed. NATO continually bombed strategic locations within the compound, and on August 23, 2011, it fell to the rebels, Gaddafi and his family having fled. This is what's left of Gaddafi's palace.
So when's the last time you were here?
Last time the revolution is finished. The machine is going first fighting. After
Right.
that, the people
Right.
who have the guns. After that, coming a lot of people, normal people, listening about something expensive here,
Right.
like the salt and like the gold. And
Pardon?
stop now.
What?
They want us to stop filming right now.
Okay.
While talking, we didn't notice several pickup trucks of local militia had closed in on us.
Stop. I've stopped.
you stop.
Just relax.
What's happening?
This is their turf or their area of operation or somehow under their control. Whatever the case, they're the group in charge today. An argument ensues between our guys and their guys, all of whom fought against the same forces on this ground a year ago.
Ask you guys to step that side.
You want to delete the tape, just leave. They say that you have to delete what you've got. Let's leave.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Hold it down. Hold it down.
I don't know if you can call them dreams, hopes, wishes. It was just something in the sky, something I look at every night.
Right.
But when I hit that point and got into Misrata and stood on Gaddafi's body, any dream will come true.
What's the situation now?
It's fluid. it can swing any direction.
Well, look, what happened in Benghazi a few months ago, I mean, what does this mean to the country?
I think there is a dark, mysterious hand who doesn't like this country to prosper. They see system and organization as a big enemy to them. These dark hands are slowly getting diminished. It's a matter of time before we can get rid of them.
How hard do you think that's going to be?
Not hard at all. We got rid of Gaddafi, nothing else is hard.
I like your attitude. The fluid situation in Libya has been intensifying since our arrival, and we've had to change our behavior, constantly moving. Shouldn't I be wearing, one of those cool, journalist safari jackets at this point? So it seemed a good time, or maybe not, saddle up, to go to Misrata.
Just watch this down at your feet there, Tony.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we can go. Roger that.
Since the revolution, Misrata's been the most secure city in Libya. But over the last 2 weeks, in a hail of bullets and hand-thrown grenade attacks, an imam, security forces, and a police officer have all been killed.
Once we move forward, you can come past me.
All along the narrow, congested highway, there are checkpoints manned mostly by local militias. And I want to stress, most of them are friendly enough. We are, however, in a hurry to get to Misrata before dark. Traveling at night around here is not advised.
I would drop the camera in 20 seconds.
Yep.
Stop the camera. Stop the camera.
No.
Pulling into town after dark, it doesn't feel like a happy place to be right now. Misrata was where some of the fiercest and most heroic struggles of the war occurred. Resistance was the most determined, and the response by the Gaddafi forces especially merciless. We've just learned that earlier in the day, a city councilman who was a hero of the revolution was assassinated. And it's not clear who's responsible. Misrata is on full lockdown.
Another checkpoint.
Looking around at the price this city paid for freedom, you can see why they don't want to lose what they fought so hard for. Morning in Misrata.
How's the vibe?
It's all quite quiet and cool at the moment.
Daylight reveals the extent of the fighting that took place here not so long ago.
This used to be a vegetable market. Clothes. One of Gaddafi's soldiers' clothes.
He left them here and ran.
Yeah, because that's what they did in Tripoli.
Yeah.
When we entered the city, they just moved their clothes and ran away in the streets, so nobody would know who are they.
This is Hamid, one of the guys we called the Misrata Boys, basically militia members from the area who looked out for us here and in Tripoli when things started to get hinky in neighboring Algeria and in Benghazi. That is a seriously up tank. His job these days is hunting down former Gaddafi supporters. So the Gaddafi forces rolled in. They would use these tanks to fire on
Around the city.
Around.
Yeah, it was full of tanks here. This was the operation room here.
Now, if you had any doubt about the terrible odds these young revolutionaries were facing during the early days of the fighting, especially in the months before NATO came in with air support, check out Misrata's War Museum. What did this fire?
It's fire rocket, homemade, and there's a rocket here, we put it here, and fire with the battery. Yeah.
You had to have some serious courage to ride around with this thing.
Why? We trust our people. There's a lot of homemade things here. This is homemade too. It fires a big rocket. This is Grad, homemade, this one. This was from a helicopter.
Yes.
We got it and we got it in the cars.
You took it off a helicopter and you put it on a car.
And you know what this is for? You know Molotov? And
So it's basically a crossbow that fires Molotov cocktails.
Molotov and TNT sometimes.
You're shooting this at people who have mortars.
And tanks.
Tanks.
Tanks, yeah.
You're shooting this at tanks.
Yeah.
It takes a special breed to live in a province like Quebec. It gets cold in winter, and winters are long. It takes a special kind of person for whom frozen rivers, icy, wind-whipped streets, deep, seemingly endless forests are the norm. I will confess my partisanship up front. I love Montreal. It is my favorite place in Canada. The people who live there are tough, crazy bastards, and I admire them for it. Toronto, Vancouver, I love you, but not like Montreal. Why? I shall explain. All will be revealed. In the meantime, check this guy out.
What's the post office's motto? Neither rain nor sleet nor driving snow nor plague of locusts prevent the mail carrier from delivering my junk mail.
Here in Montreal, the simple task of delivering the mail in winter comes with its own set of hurdles. Icy hurdles.
I gotta ask, do you have special equipment for this?
We got like slip-on boots. We do have other boots in the rains, when it gets icy, with spikes on them. And they give us also slip-on spikes for when it's icy.
Any sort of city ordinance that you have to shovel? They're not penalized financially.
No, they're
or
not
ticketed.
penalized or anything. No, nothing like that.
Any injuries in the line of duty?
I've had several tumbles. One incident that I was off for 2 months, I thought I broke my ankle.
What is the most perilous aspect of the job? Would it be dogs or icy stairs?
In this area, there's a lot of dogs, but I would say the icy stairs.
It's one thing to have to work outside in this wintry mess, but it takes a strange and wonderful kind of mutant to actually find it pleasurable. Like, well, these two gentlemen.
Do you like the cold? I mean, by you, I mean the Quebecois.
It cleans the streets of Ebola.
The cold.
Yeah, the frigid cold keeps the riffraff out of the city for sure.
Fred Morin and David McMillan, restaurateurs, chefs at the legendary Joe Beef, bon vivants, raconteurs, historians of their beloved Great White North, princes of hospitality. And what do men like this do for fun when the rivers turn to ice 3 feet thick, when testicles shrink, and most of us scurry for warmth and shelter? If they were like so many other Canadians, they would go ice fishing on the St. Lawrence River.
The cabin fever induces in the Quebecois family, because we are confined, perhaps, to spend so much time indoors. A lot of the families love to do, activities together like this. Go to the cottage, go ice fishing, it's like gets you out of the house, and it's very much a family thing.
Like many of their ilk, they'd seek one of the temporary small towns of sled-borne cabins, drill a hole in the ice, and wait. I haven't had so much fruits and nuts since Altamont. I told Mick, I said, Mick, this is a bad crowd. Get back in the chopper. But he's like, oh, no, man, we can't disappoint the fans. Memories. In Tangier, I lived in one room in the native quarter. I had not taken a bath in a year, nor changed my clothes, or removed them, except to stick a needle every hour in the fibrous gray wooden flesh of terminal addiction. I never cleaned or dusted the room. Empty ampule boxes and garbage piled up to the ceiling. Light and water long since turned off for non-payment. I did absolutely nothing. I could look at the end of my shoe for 8 hours. I was only roused to action when the hourglass of junk ran out. The words of William Burroughs, one of my heroes. He came to Tangier in 1953, shortly after shooting his wife to death in a drunken accident in Mexico City. He was a heroin addict, a homosexual, and an inspiration to those proto-hipsters who came to be known as the Beats. Burroughs, however, was not a hipster. There was nothing beatnik about him. He was a somewhat stuffy, well-dressed St. Louis son of a good family, gone wrong. He was also, to my mind, the greatest writer of the whole damn bunch. On the road, you can have it. His classic Naked Lunch was written here. A nonlinear, dark, dry-humored, searingly critical, satirical, and profane masterpiece. Burroughs was apparently high for much of the process. Like many Congolese we meet, they are, all these years later, and in spite of everything that's happened, ready and waiting for the situation to improve. You lost your way on that river as you would in a desert, till you thought yourself bewitched and cut off forever from everything you had known once. So Conrad described the Congo after piloting steamships in the early days of Belgian colonialism.
I've had something of a multi-decade obsession with the Congo. It's been kind of a personal dream, if you will, to travel the Congo River. And now, for better or worse, I get that chance. We've rented a trusty vessel, and I shall dub thee the Captain Willard. All right, did you maggots load the chickens?
Finding food along the way, it's anticipated, will be a challenge. Refrigeration of any kind is impossible.
Okay, well, I'm psyched. My dream has finally come true. Blocked by officials? Well, this could be months. Okay, let the probing begin.
We need this boat to move now. How do we do this?
Let's get underway before they figure a new tax to levy on us.
Our trip downriver will take us some 120 kilometers, even deeper into the jungle. But instead of Kurtz and his ivory hoard, a crumbling Belgian research center with a shadowy past awaits us at our destination.
It's the turn of the century map, so as Kisangani was then called Stanleyville. Leopoldville, that would be here.
Yeah, like 3,000 kilometers or something like that.
A long way to go if we were taking the full ride.
That's what we're doing, right?
All the way to the Atlantic?
You didn't tell them yet?
I don't think we have enough spam, gentlemen.
Three hours later, and it looks like the jungle-style stew might actually work out after all.
Okay, someone wants to bring this over carefully to the table. All right, let's eat. À table.
Bon appétit.
Bon appétit.
In the end, my coq au vin was a bit scraggly, but passable. It is written, that I should be loyal to the nightmare of my choice. I think I now understand what that means. Next morning on the river, and of course, we're not alone. Fishermen from all the surrounding villages have heard of us and have, long before we're even awake, come by to check us out.
Hey, you ever find a couple of onions for me? Don't go crazy. If we don't have, we don't have.
I will not go crazy.